So today we are going to talk about some of the options around getting US clinical experience. As an IMG, you're probably aware of the difficulty in getting the USCE. You end up spending thousands of dollars, especially once you graduate and end up in observerships. But there are some very legitimate and genuine paid positions like physician assistants that you can explore. So, some states like Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri allow you to work as a physician assistant, especially once you have the ECFMG certification. So we interviewed one of our students who outlines for you what all he did, how he went about it, and the various things you can get as you explore this option. So watch along and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Good morning, good evening everyone. Today we have one of our students, Chintav, who has applied for residency and is waiting for the match results. And what we wanted to do was to help you get some ideas about hands-on experience. You know, a lot of IMGs have issues looking for hands-on experience, and Chintav is going to share his experiences, especially around hands-on experiences and how to get those and how valuable these can be for your residency match. So welcome, Chintav.
Thank you so much, Pawan.
So Chintav, let's start off. Tell us, the intent of this video. Tell us about your background and what kind of hands-on experience are we talking about?
Hi, everyone. My name is Chintav, and I'm a foreign medical graduate from India. And the purpose of doing this video was many of us don't know how to exactly work on the hands-on experience, and I've seen people paying $2,000, $3,000 for a month of USCE hands-on. So in this video, our purpose is to give you some other options too, which can be considered, which is cheaper, which can be, you can get paid for it, but I mean, it's particularly for the people who usually have a green card or are citizens here and are seeking some opportunities, or you're planning for a backup option right now since we are so close to match. People with 1, 2, or 3 interviews, just like me, I'm also planning for post-match. What if I don't match? So we're going to just give you a brief idea about what currently I'm doing and what my plans for future are if I'm supposed to go unmatched. So I'm going to describe everything about my current experience as a scribe, what I'm doing currently, and what my future plans are if I don't match.
Okay, excellent. So let's start. And is that called, what is this called? What is, for those of us who may not know it, what is this opportunity? Is that a scribe opportunity? Is that assistant physician, licensed physician?
Yeah.
What is it?
So this is something which many people hasn't come across yet, but there are a few states I would say just 3 states in whole of United States that has passed this law, which allows you to practice as an assistant physician, which practically means you're equivalent to a physician assistant or a nurse practitioner, but it's just named as assistant physician. So your job here is practically a full hands-on experience. So you are going to work side by side with a collaborating physician who's going to overlook your work, who's going to guide you with everything. But here's the thing. This is something which is totally hands-on. You get to see your own patients. You get the prescription privileges and everything. So the title that they give in the state of Missouri is called assistant physician, which is kind of a little opposite to what we call as physician assistant, but it's still the same thing. And then the state of Arkansas, where currently I'm working as a scribe, they recently passed the law, which was about 6 months ago, and they named this thing as called graduate licensed physician. So what is an assistant physician and what is a graduate licensed physician? Any person who has gone through med school and has taken step 1, step 2 CK and CS and are ECFMG certified, these are the people who are eligible for getting this license. So I started initially looking into this thing because when I read the application stuff for all these things, it said that you had to go through med school and they have to send the documents to get yourself approved. So I called the state boards and asked them, hey, this is what do I need to get my license? So they told me a bunch of documents and what you need. So we'll go further down the road, and Pawan's going to keep asking me about how what kind of documents do we need. But this is something which we need to keep in mind for the green card holders and the citizens who are going to go unmatched. This kind of experience is going to add to the resume, and plus it's going to provide you with the finances for the next application.
All right, so this is great, and I want to repeat this because this is so important. As long as you are ECFMG certified, you can actually practice as a physician assistant in 3 states,
Right.
Missouri, Arkansas, and which was the third one?
Third one is the Oklahoma. So these are, no,
Oklahoma.
sorry, not Oklahoma, Kansas City, Kansas.
Kansas City.
So 3,
So in
yeah.
these states, you can actually practice and get paid for your hands-on experience, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
is it limited to green card holders or U.S. citizens, or are there ways that even visa-seeking IMGs can do it, or is it not possible?
Yeah, so this is the thing about this, how it works is that though I'm a green card holder, how I know about it, but I was asking for a friend and I called the Missouri State Board and they told me one thing. We are going to give you the license, but it's your responsibility to find a physician who's going to employ you, who's going to pay you, and who's going to look after your work. So here's the thing. If a person, so if a person needs, let's say, a visa thing, so the person who's going to hire the physician, it's on his hand whether he wants to sponsor the visa, which means he has to pay that candidate a certain amount of money to hire him and get his H-1B. But again, the thing is that how are you going to transfer from H-1B to J-1 when you start your residency? That is something I'm not sure about. But they told me that any candidate, you don't need a visa for that. As long as you have your passport, you're good to apply with a valid visa, which is a B1, B2, you can still apply for that.
All right. So even for visa-seeking applicants, this is like a job. So when you're hired in a job, the company or the physician or that group does your H-1B, and you should be able to get this experience as long as those things are taken care of. And of course, if you don't need a visa, you don't need to worry about these things. So that's great. So now tell us, how does it make a difference to your application? What did you do or what do you do as part of your role and that you bring out in your application?
Right. So everyone, we do externships, we do observership, but here's the thing. All those things doesn't have what we call as the patient interaction, like patient-physician interaction. So this job practically allows you to see your own patients, put in your own notes, put in your own orders, put in your own assessment. The only thing that they need is a physician, like a supervising physician who's going to sign your 10% notes. And plus, the best part about this licensure is that you get your own prescription privileges. Like you are literally prescribing drugs, whatever, except you have some restrictions on narcotics. But again, if your physician allows you to prescribe narcotics, the board doesn't have any problem. The Arkansas State Medical Board or Missouri Board, they specifically tell that you can prescribe narcotics as long as your collaborating physician allows you to do that. So as a whole experience, you're treating patients, you can do an inpatient, you can do an outpatient, you're practically having your own clinics, you're getting paid really good, and plus you get to learn a lot, which you don't get to do in observership. In observership, you're just looking. Externship, you can order your own tests or see your own patients. So this is where this thing is totally different compared to observership. And when you go in to your residency application, like compared to last year, I had applied this year again, so I'm a repeat applicant if y'all didn't know. So the thing about it is that observership in my application didn't count because I didn't have great scores. So I had to do something to get around those great scores, and this kind of experiences help you around the low scores you have, is because when a person is looking at your application, he sees your experience and he's like, oh my God, this guy already knows how to deal with the U.S. system because he already knows the EMR, he already knows how to deal with the patient, he already knows how the system works, how the assessment works. So it gives you a broader picture. You're more comfortable with your patients when you start residency. So it just gives you an overall experience.
Excellent. So just to paraphrase this, as an IMG, you are getting experience, actual experience as a physician, which beats observership, hands-on, and anything else. You are actually a practicing physician, which will obviously add a lot to your CV.
Correct.
Okay, good. Now tell us how long does it take to get the license, assuming you have all the paperwork and all, how long does it take?
So when I initially started, I had a lot of questions I had to go through because I didn't have any background. But here's the thing. When you go onto their website, they have a beautiful, like a PDF file that gives you step-by-step application of what documents you need, what you need to send to the boards. So it took me about a month to get my Missouri state license. And so it usually takes about a month, but again, you have to request your transcript from FSMB, the USMLE transcript, which needs to be directly going to the board. And then they have something called as National Practitioner Data Bank Query. So you need to get that done. Though you're not practicing here, you still need to do that. But overall, it takes about a month to month and a half, I would say. But if you send your documents on time and if the transcript gets released pretty quick from ECFMG and stuff, then you're good to go in like 25, 30 days.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So we'll probably put a link to that URL with the PDF file so that students can get started. Excellent.
Yes.
Anything else you want to just highlight? Because I think this covers a lot of good information. Anything which we missed?
No, here's the thing. So you get your license, and I need to mention the cost about it since people would be wanting to know that how much does it cost to. So actual application for state of Missouri is about $300 and state of Arkansas is about $400. But then you have to pay $70 for your transcript. Then you have to get a ECFMG report to them, which is another $70. And then the data bank query is about $10 or $15. So it rounds to about $500 for your licensure, and that's about what you're going to spend, which is nothing compared to what we spend for getting experience somewhere else in the hospitals. So that is something which is really good. So that's what I wanted to cover. And here's the thing. I know everyone's really tense about the match, but last year I was tense too, and I'm just sharing my personal experience. I had a plan B because I was already a working scribe, but I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to match because I had an interview from the program where I got good reviews, but I didn't end up matching there. So this year I'm more well prepared, and I know everyone wants to match, but it is always good to have a plan B, because with this plan B, you're kind of making money. It's helping your finances. It's going to help overall your experience. So keep this in mind. I would say just keep these options in mind, and we'll share the link as Pawan told, and I'll send him the links where you can just directly click the link, and it'll take you to that page, and then you can read about what it's all about.
Okay, this has been great, Chintav. I think this will come in very, very handy as a plan B for a lot of IMGs, and not even plan B for people who may be applying for next year. They can use this kind of an experience without going through a lot of agencies that ask for payment and then put you in some observership. So thank you very much. This was very, very helpful.
And one more point, Pawan, I would like to put in here is that people who are kind of like into their third or fourth year and they're like, well, I'm not going to get into residency, don't lose hope, because this is something which you can practice on for your entire life. You have to just renew your license every 2 years. You don't have to go through the physician assistant school. You're still a doctor in the United States, just you need an employer. But you get to be in the medical field, and you can use this license for your whole life. That's only in Missouri. So in Arkansas, it just lets you practice for 4 years, and then you have to do residency. So that's the two different states, and they're two different laws. But you can use this license and still practice, and you don't have to go to the physician assistant school and end up spending like $100,000 and have loans and stuff like that. So that is also something people can keep in mind if they want to stay in the country and practice and don't want to go home and still not getting into residency. This is something y'all can just keep in mind and work towards it.
Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, as long as you are ECFMG certified, you should be able to get the license and get it renewed at least in Missouri. So it's kind of, sorry to interrupt you there, but it kind of, when you have this job, you're making money and you can still keep on applying for residency because it's just going to add to your resume. So if you're going to do like 10 rotations, I would say you do this one thing, and then you're going to have a killer letter of recommendation from 2 or 3 doctors, whoever you work with, because that is going to be more important, because this is total hands-on, and you kind of open up more states for yourself. Like if you have already done rotations in the big cities, you can go to Missouri,
and practice, or come to Arkansas and practice, and it just opens up the whole new state for you to apply to and get more interviews from.
No, this looks a very attractive opportunity. I'm surprised that not many IMGs know about it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Chintav, any last thoughts? Or
well, I just want to wish everyone best of luck. I hope any of us needs this option, but I've already got it ready, and I've spent my $500 just as an investment, since I've spent $5,000, $10,000 applying for the residency. This is something which I was like, well, I'll just get it done. So any one of you who are like kind of stuck up at low interviews, you're not confident, just keep this option. You can start your application today and you still be done before match day. Let me tell you that. If you're fast enough, you can send your documents in, and you can be done before match day. And come match day, if you don't match or go through SOAP and you still don't match, you know what to do. You're just going to apply for the jobs and you'll get it. There's a lot of demand out there. Trust me, I check that site every day to see how many openings they have until the match day. And I'm finding quite a few openings, which is kind of inpatient, outpatient, doesn't matter. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for the mid-level providers like assistant physicians. So it's a good option for all of us. So just best of luck to everyone.
all right. Best of luck to you as well, Chintav, and hopefully it'll all turn out well in a month from now.
Yep.